so excited for this today. This is Emma Nedov. If you're not familiar, this is our 2024 Paris Olympian, but that is not all there is to her, and that is what we are discovering today.
Yes.
Yes, we'll be doing a big chat about identity in sport, but if you want to introduce yourself, I think that'd be really cool.
Well, okay, how do I introduce myself? Okay, yep, sure. My name's Emma. I did go to the Olympics last year, so I'm currently an Olympian, and I spent about 23 years in elite gymnastics in the pursuit of that Olympic dream. But now today I would probably say that I am a speaker and an entrepreneur. To give it a label, Olympian, speaker, entrepreneur.
I did look at your link in your bio, and they were the titles. I love it.
Yeah.
And mentor.
I think that comes naturally.
Yeah, just accidentally mentor left, right, center.
Yeah. Yeah. But yes, so let's add in that. So, okay, yeah. Olympian, speaker, mentor, and entrepreneur.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it. This is my first in-person, face-to-face one. So cool. I'm Carla, in case you didn't know. I am currently a trampoline gymnast, and we're in the gym that both of us have trained at. I haven't trained at for long. Emma trained in it for a really long time. I've been doing gymnastics since I started kindy gym when I was 2, and then I just kept going and tried different disciplines and decided when I was 14 that trampoline was the one I wanted to kind of stick with.
Good choice.
Yeah. It is fun. But we have our biases. And so we're going to chat about something that's really changed the way I train, compete, and do life as a whole, which is identity in sport and tying your identity to your achievements in your athletic career and even your training and any outcomes that are available, really. And so we're going to chat about that today. Is there anything you want to say to start of where you started on that journey of identity?
Yeah, sure. I mean, my identity was rooted in gymnastics from, 6 years old. I started when I was about 5 or 6 at a YMCA in Sydney.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't really know what I was doing there. I just did it for fun. And probably about the age of 11, the YMCA brought over a coach from China to coach us elite stream girls, because back in the day there was a levels stream and an elite stream.
Yeah.
And she sort of took me under her wing and she said, hey, you've got a lot of natural talent and you can go to the Olympic Games. And so working with her, all of a sudden gymnastics became my everything. Yeah. It became, I'd go to school, Emma the gymnast. Because I was coming to school late and leaving school early, I was training 32 hours a week from the age of 12.
Yeah.
So my whole life, my best friends in the whole world, my passwords were gymnast12. I remember begging my dad, can I please have, when I was setting up my email address, can it be mgymstar or something like that? Yeah. Thank goodness my dad didn't let me do that. And it was just emmanedov@hotmail.com, because I still use that.
It's still used. But the password's different now.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't try that one.
But it's funny you say that, because probably from 6 till 24, my whole identity was Emma the gymnast. What is your self-worth rooted in? Gymnastics.
Yeah.
What are your achievements? Gymnastics.
Yeah.
What makes you special? That was a big one for me, was being special. And that was in gymnastics, because it was something that other people couldn't do,
Yeah, they don't
gymnastics is so unique.
Yeah.
But then I went through the shift, and I'm sure we'll get there, where I was rejecting that. I wanted to totally reject being Emma the gymnast.
Yeah, that's so interesting. And especially, I thought it was so interesting, which I didn't know, that you said around 24 was when you had that shift of I'm just totally identifying everything with that. And that's the same age that I came to the realization of oh my God, everything I am, I do, I be is gymnastics, or for me, trampoline. And I really found that it was, you said what makes me special. For me, it was what I love about myself. And both of those are really almost synonymous, but it's and what other people value about you. But I remember a time when my coach was like, Carla, what do you love about yourself? Outside of this room. And I just broke down.
Really?
I broke. I was like, I can't name anything, which makes me so sad to think about now, because I've done so much work, and the work is never over, but I've done so much work, and now, you know, I can name many things that I love about myself, which I'm very proud of. But at that time, that was it. And I hadn't even achieved the things I wanted. So it was even like, do I even love this about myself? And so I don't know if because you were told, like, you're going to be an Olympian from 11, and then having that journey up to the point where you had all the COVID kerfuffle stuff and it didn't go that way.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was like that same point of view for you, maybe. Do you want to speak to that?
You're right. I think that training 32 hours a week, missing out on parties, being known as Emma the gymnast was all worth it because I was in pursuit of the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
And so when I missed out, obviously twice, in 2016, that was going to be the Olympics that I went to, and then I was going to retire after that because obviously you don't continue doing gymnastics for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Well, back then.
Here we are.
Yeah, it's only like 10 years ago, but it was different.
It was.
And so in 2016, I missed out on making the Olympics because we didn't qualify an Australian team.
Yeah.
So what made that almost more difficult, like quite bittersweet, I would say, is that I made the Olympic team, but Australia didn't make it.
Yeah. So you had the qualifying scores?
We actually selected the Olympic team and we went over to Rio, but we had a job to actually qualify Australia.
You had to get the spot,
Yeah, before with the Olympic Games because we hadn't yet qualified our country. So that was a hard pill to swallow, knowing that I was like that close and that it was a team effort. It wasn't just me. And when you're in a very individual sport, your whole life, you've grown up in a very individual sport.
Yeah.
All of a sudden to have a reliance on team, what is that? That was a confusing time for me, I remember. So I missed out on the Olympics and I thought to myself, well, what on earth is my life now? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So then it was a natural progression for me to just sit down with mum and dad and go, oh, can I please, try one more time? And so I kept training. And, in 2016, I was about 19 years old.
Yeah.
Maybe older. I might have been 20. Yeah, I was 20 because then 4 years later was 2020 Olympics.
Yeah.
And I was 24. That was going to be the Olympics that I was going to go to, and then I could retire. It was almost like it gave me the permission to cut it. And then that way, when I said to people down the line, so I thought, I could say, yeah, I was an elite gymnast and I made it to the Olympic Games. And that would be what solidified my identity as a gymnast. The story's complete. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I then didn't make 2020 because of COVID, and, that was a whole situation, again, not necessarily within my control.
Yeah.
I started to think, oh my God, well, what have I done all of this for? And like, who am I? And what does that mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I'm sure that I would have had periods around 16 years old where I hated gymnastics. I do remember that. But even though I hated it, it was still who I was. 24, I no longer hated it. If anything, I wanted to be able to continue doing it, but I wasn't sure that was who I was anymore.
Yeah, okay. What made you feel like it wasn't who you were? Was it the loss, like the grieving of the 2020?
Yeah, it was the fact that I felt like there were outside things happening that were like basically saying, Emma, you're never meant to go to the Olympic Games.
Yeah, the universe has told you it's not for you.
Yeah, I don't know how to put it. It was like 2012, I was 16, so I wouldn't have really made that Olympic Games. But 2012, an Olympic year, I had a stress fracture in my back and my coach Ping retired. 2014 Commonwealth Games, I didn't make the Commonwealth Games, but I made the World Championships team. 2016, obviously, missed out because Australia didn't qualify, but I was finally good enough. I was finally ready.
Yeah.
2018 Commonwealth Games, I snapped my Achilles. 2020 Olympic Games, I was good enough, but COVID happened and I just missed out. I thought in 2020 that I had put everything together in the right way.
Yeah, you were like, all the ducks are in a row. This is the one.
This is the one,
I think, and that's maybe like the most heartbreaking ones is when you're like, this is the one.
Yeah.
Like everything is right. This has to be the one. And then it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. And so it felt like, I don't know, it just felt like something was trying to say to me, like, you're not meant for this. And so that was hard because I was like, oh my God, but everyone's told me that I'm meant to. And it was almost, as though because everyone had told me that I was so good, that I was going to go to the Olympics and that I was Emma the gymnast. I wasn't Emma the gymnast because I thought I was Emma the gymnast. I was Emma the gymnast because other people referred to me that way.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it's so reflected in every single area of life. Like, you go to family dinner and, like, extended families, like, oh, how's gymnastics? Colour, how's tramp? Like, you know, and that's all you get asked about, and then the conversation moves on. So it's like, that's who I am. And then, like you said, at school, like, your friends see that you're leaving early, starting late, and they're like, she's a gymnast, that's why. And like, it's just constantly being fed to you. And it takes, from what I've found so far, takes so much work to still have that as part of you, but not be who you are. It's really challenging.
Yeah, you know, it's funny, it's the same with Olympics now. When I got back to Olympics, you know, everyone just wants to know about the Olympics.
Yeah, of course.
What's it like
right?
to be Olympian?
Yeah.
You know, you're an Olympian now.
Yeah.
And you'll notice that in my titles, I choose to keep that in there.
Yeah.
One of my, like, sayings now is once an athlete, always an athlete.
Yeah.
To us, obviously, once a gymnast, always a gymnast.
Yeah.
And as you just pointed out, I think that because we get labelled and we are like, oh no, that's not all that I am, we want to get rid of it. I went through this period when I retired in 2020 because I'd missed out on that Olympics, and I was like, stuff this, I'm like done.
Yeah.
I actually retired on really good terms with the sport, where I was like really grateful for everything I'd learned. I was like, it doesn't matter that I haven't made the Olympic Games because I'm really proud. I was like, I'm really proud of who I am. I'm proud of the achievements I've made. You know, I've still won World Cup gold medals. I've gone to world championships. I've been really competitive. I've been known in the world of gymnastics as someone that is very, very good. Like, how awesome is that?
Yeah, there's a poster on the wall out here to show it.
Oh no, they need to get rid of that. The wording is incorrect. It's literally so embarrassing because side note,
Tell us.
like, Ellie Black, who is obviously one of the world's best gymnasts, and she's from Canada. She was like training here, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, she's gonna know. She's gonna see that poster saying world, what does it say? World champion. No, I'm not a world champion. I'm a World Cup gold medalist. And I was like, oh my God. Anyway.
Does it not say World Cup on there?
No, it says world champion. Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. I mean, it's lovely. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact that, and I get so many people send me DMs of like their kids competing here, and they're like, oh, look, you're in the background.
Yeah.
So that is so special. I cannot.
That's really cool.
Yeah, but the wording is incorrect. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, so look, once an athlete, always an athlete. I really went through this period of time where I wanted to get rid of that. I thought, okay, well, I'm not doing gymnastics anymore, so I'm no longer Emma the gymnast.
Yep. Yeah.
Then you throw in the fact that when you finish gymnastics, your body changes.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, didn't look like Emma the gymnast.
Yeah.
Didn't look like Emma the gymnast, wasn't doing gymnastics, didn't feel like Emma the gymnast. My whole life, all of a sudden, it was almost like gymnastics never even existed.
Yeah, the rug really got pulled out from under you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That would have been scary.
Oh my God.
Scary. Yeah. But also, what did you... Obviously, I can only assume, based on what I've experienced, is there's a big dip there where you're feeling pretty low, and emotionally it's a pretty dark place. But what did you find brought you out?
So you know what, actually, at first, when I retired in 2020, like I said, I was very much at peace with being retired.
Yeah. Also, yeah, can I, side note you before you keep going? I think that's really cool because from your story that I've heard, that's not kind of... I think the message that gets taken away, not from your version of it, but from what I've heard, and is that like it wasn't good. It wasn't good ending, like you know. And to hear you say that is really nice. Like it's really special to hear you say that.
I never unretired. Like I know that I obviously, I mean, you know, spoiler, went to Olympics last year for gymnastics. I know that I came back. I know that I came back.
Yeah.
But I mentally, physically, never ever left retirement. That person that retired from gymnastics in 2020, fully retired, totally retired.
Yeah.
The person that came back 3.5 years later was not coming back to gymnastics. I was a completely different person that had an incredible opportunity. If anything, I moved forward into gymnastics again. And I was only in gymnastics for 10 months.
Yeah, I think when I watched your journey, it's hilarious. It's amazing. It's hilarious.
It's the best thing I've ever done my whole entire life.
So
and
cool.
I'm going to have to find something else equally as great.
It's going to be hard because, no, I don't think so. You're an incredible person.
No, but it's true. Like, it's like people look at me and they go, oh my God, how are you doing so many things? Why are you doing so many things? It's like, because I think that I can do anything.
I did this wild thing and now I have this confidence that I've earned and I will use.
Yeah.
I watched your journey and it was like, 1 month back and you're just like, getting back into it, getting some runs at the vault, like doing this stuff. And then 6 months in, I was like, she's doing full routines.
Yeah.
She's doing full routines.
Crazy
this
person.
Is awesome. It was so great to watch.
I'm so glad. Look, that was part of it, right? Was let's create something awesome. It wasn't about, and I don't think that this has come across very often. It wasn't about the Olympics. It wasn't about gymnastics. It was about, there was an opportunity. What is my skill set? My skill is in being a gymnast because for 20 years, I was an elite gymnast and I was a good one. So all of a sudden, this opportunity has come up and it's like, it could be anything that had popped up. But you were going to go to your toolbox and you're going to go, okay, what can I use?
Yeah, what's my skills?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I'm a gymnast.
Perfectly matches the task.
Oh, yeah. And it genuinely there's that, right? It's like this job application came up and I've got the skills for this job.
Yeah.
I'm not very good right now. I'm like a little squeaky and it's a WD-40, but
I know I can.
But I can get there. I can get that job.
Yeah.
That was what it was. So you're right. I think a lot of people thought that I had retired on really negative feelings, negative thoughts in 2020.
Yeah.
No, I'd already done that before. I had quit in 2018 when I missed Commonwealth Games because I didn't get medical clearance. I was pissed, Carla.
Yeah.
Like, I was pissed off. I was like, what the actual F? Why am I doing this sport? I was pissed off.
And were you feeling well enough at that time? Like, would you say?
Yeah, I made it back after my Achilles rupture. 9 months later, I did the trial for Commonwealth Games. My floor wasn't at the same standard it was before my Achilles rupture, but it was like good enough.
Yeah.
But we had a new national coach that year who didn't know me. And the physio was also new. And because it had only been 9 months since my rupture, they didn't give me medical clearance to make the team. So I was like, you can imagine, pissed.
Yeah, pissed. Heartbroken, but angry.
Yeah, and it wasn't just me, it impacts your whole family, your whole team, your whole, everything.
Yeah, everyone's put the time and effort into this dream.
Yeah. So I was pissed, and that only lasted 6 months because that was an emotional decision. That was not a strategic decision. That was emotional. I did not know Dave at that time. I did not know my sports psychologist, Dave.
Is that Dave Diggle? Yeah, I've heard of him. I've heard really good things.
Yeah, I recommend him. Everyone should speak to him. Anyway, but I did not make that decision based off anything other than an emotional feeling.
Yeah.
And now I have learned never ever make decisions based off emotion. Or if you do make decisions based off emotion, which will inevitably happen.
Yeah.
There will come a time when that emotion wears off and you'll need to reassess. So 6 months after that emotional decision, I'm sitting in Croatia with my family saying, whoops.
Actually,
whoopsie. I want to keep going. I may have been a little bit angry,
Yeah.
So that was very different. I came back and I was like, yeah, I'm good to go. It was almost like having a little bit of that, I don't know, having a little bit of like a little break.
Yeah.
The sport.
Took a sabbatical. Yeah. Came back.
Yeah, needed a breather. And then I came back fresh and ready to go. Okay. That was when I actually started working with Dave.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But in 2020, when I had missed Olympics, I really was at peace. I was like, you know what? Like I have done this. I've done the work. There was nothing, as you said before, there's nothing I left to chance. Nothing. I made sure not to rely on the Australian team. I was trying to qualify myself on balance beam.
Undeniable, it's my spot.
Yes. No one was going to be accountable for me making it or not other than myself.
Yeah.
So when I didn't make it because of some absolutely insane thing that no one could think of, that impacted billions of people around the world.
Yeah.
How could I take that personally?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So to be honest, I was like relieved in 2020. I was like, oh, I did it. It didn't happen. Why? Like my question and my question to people that have this narrative that it was an emotional decision is, why would I keep going in 2020?
Yeah.
What?
Unless your identity was still tied to it, which it sounds like at that point, like you'd come to terms with the fact that like I am Emma the gymnast, but I'm also Emma the many other things.
Kind of.
Kind of?
I wasn't there yet.
Okay.
But what I had realised was that my value, and this may have come from missing so many events, I had started to realise that my value was in the work I had done, not in the achievement.
Yeah.
And so not qualifying for the Olympic Games didn't have the same emotional response as it did in 2016.
Yeah.
Was I still really like upset that I would never be an Olympian? Yeah, totally.
Yeah, of course. You go through it.
Yeah, but it was a very different... Again, I ask, why would I keep going? I was 24. I wasn't making any money doing the sport.
Yeah.
It was costing me money and costing my parents money.
Sorry, Mum and Dad.
Sorry, yeah, thanks. It was, you know, I was in a personal relationship at that time where I felt like I couldn't leave that relationship without being out of gymnastics as well. I felt like at that time gymnastics caged me. It put me in a box that I was ready to get out of. So I agree, like to a certain extent, but I still identified as a gymnast, but in a very different way.
Okay,
it was time for me to now use that for bigger and better things. I was 24, you know, like really, if you asked me when I was 5 years old, hey, what do you want to be when you're older? I wanted to be a fairy princess and be rich. What the hell? I was going to become a fairy princess.
You can still do these things.
That's what I do now.
Still on the cards. Yeah.
But you know what I mean? So
yeah.
So I really asked that question. I said, why would I keep going? I didn't make that decision based off emotion. I sat down with my mum and dad. I had this conversation with Dave. I spoke to lots of people, and what I did was bounce off them, why should I keep going? And I would try and give them all the reasons why I should keep going. And it always led me to, I don't think I have a valid reason why I should keep going. Other than...
Okay. What were the superficial reasons, if you don't mind me asking? Because I think this is something that...
Why I would keep going?
Yeah, because I think that, like you said, once you get to the deeper level, you run out of content.
Yeah.
Basically, and you're like, well, actually, I don't know. Yeah.
So the reasons why I would keep going, and this comes straight back to identity. It's all I've ever known.
Yep.
I know that I'm good at it.
Yep.
I know that it's safe, and it is the most comfortable choice for me to make.
Yeah. Did you say that at the time?
Yes.
In that way? That's how it was framed for you?
I knew it was the most comfortable thing. I've watched a lot of my friends both stay in the sport because they don't know anything else.
Yep.
And I've watched a lot of my friends retire and struggle. So I saw these two options as like neither one is great. Which one?
Don't look great.
Which one do I do? For me it was, and I think this is thanks to reshaping my mindset quite a lot and the work I did with Dave, but I saw that being comfortable was easy and not going to get me to where I want to be in life.
Yeah, as a person.
Yeah. And I, you know, what really shifted, well, no, if I go back to all the reasons why I wanted to stay, I wanted to remain fit. I'm not going to lie, that was a really big thing for me. I didn't know how on earth to do that, not in gymnastics.
And that's interesting that you say that. Sorry to like interrupt.
No.
I just want to kind of like keep bouncing off the kind of parallels in our journeys. And something that has kept me in for a long time is like without structured sport, I don't know what I would do. Well, like I say that now, but that's really past me because now I do other things around that I enjoy. Maybe not equally. Like I really freaking love this. Like I love it. I love it. Maybe not equally, but in a way that I go, okay, I can go out and do my own like exercise and move my body in ways that I enjoy and that makes me feel good. But for me, being somewhere that I know that there's a time set and there's other people to do it with, that is a big, big thing for me. And so that has definitely kept me in the sport. And it's definitely not my main reason, but it's one of the big ones. Is like definitely staying in shape, but it's a way that I enjoy to stay fit and well.
I don't think there's anything that I'll ever find that I have that same dedication to, like gymnastics, in a physical sense. So I wanted to stay fit. I really enjoyed the art of gymnastics. I really enjoyed, like you said, I enjoyed doing flips and stuff like that. So I wanted to keep doing that. And I wanted the safety net of knowing that I come to a community where I'm safe, basically. You know, people know me. I have a whole friendship circle. You know, if we come back to like a broader sense of human beings, you know, I belong there.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So there was it was honestly just all deeper rooted in the fact that I had never not done it. And that's why I should stay. So again, I ask you, why should I have stayed?
Why should I have stayed?
You know,
there was nothing except that it felt normal.
Yeah, and also for me now, the drive to train for another 4 years for an Olympic Games. I'm sorry, been there, done that.
Not there.
Been there, done that 3 times. No thanks.
3 times.
4 years is a long time. This sport is hard. This sport is hard. It asks of you. Whilst that all sounds really nice, it is so hard. It asks of you to give every single bit and piece of you to this elite sport. It is, I would have days, I think I had more days that I hated it than I loved it, really, when I talk about the actual 23 years of doing
training.
it.
Yeah. Not the same in the last 10 months?
No, that was the best time of my life, but I'll get there.
Yeah.
But the pain, everything's in pain. I've been to World Championships where my breakfast was 3 Panadol and 2 Nurofen. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So to sit down and go, oh, it's really safe and comfortable. Why don't I just stay here?
You're like, is it actually?
Yeah, then you
let me look at the stats here.
Yeah, you put it in perspective and you're like, oh, well, I'm going to have to train for another 4 years and I'm going to have to rock up and I can't go to the parties and I can't do this and I can't live my life.
Yeah.
Why would I do that? So when I stepped away, I was so truly grateful for every single thing that I had done in gymnastics. And that was the difference between my little dummy spit quit in 2018 and my retirement, in 2020.
Yeah.
I looked back on every single thing I had achieved and I walked away proud of the person I had become. And I knew that every single thing that I had done was going to help me, or I was going to make damn sure that it was going to help me in what I do after.
In life.
Yeah. So honestly, if the opportunity had not come up to train for Olympic Games, that was not something that I thought was going to be possible, I would have never.
Yeah, you were good.
I would have never done it.
Yeah.
And do you know what's funny? When I came out of retirement 3.5 years later, again, the Olympics was kind of just like something that brought me in. It didn't actually, I'm not going to lie, I didn't actually think I was going to make it. That's crazy. But then afterwards, I got sucked straight back into the real comfortability of being an elite gymnast again. And I was like, I'm going to keep training.
Like after
Olympics.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Okay.
If my coach hadn't passed away, I think that I would still be doing gymnastics. I think so. Or it would have taken me a lot longer to realise that, no, you're still that person that made that decision.
Yeah. Can I ask a little bit about that? Is that okay?
Of course.
Why do you think that was the event, like your coach passing away, that really put it into perspective for you that it wasn't?
He was the only person that could have done the job that we did together. The only person. So when he was really sick after Olympics and we got back, so I got back, he couldn't come over to Olympics with us. And actually, when I asked him to come and coach me and Georgia, because I trained with my best friend, we kind of had an inkling that he had cancer, but we didn't know, actually.
Okay.
We had no idea.
Yeah.
And it's funny, Carla, I almost feel like while he was bringing me back to life, I was keeping him alive. Because once I qualified for the Olympics, once Georgia and I both qualified, his health deteriorated.
It was like he did his job.
Yeah, I have goosebumps talking about it. So when we got back, he had deteriorated quite a lot. and he couldn't come into the gym. And so I would go into the gym and keep training. And time just kept passing. And he wasn't getting any better. There was no one that could coach me. And I wasn't then getting any better at training. I was literally just then now going into training because it was now what I do, right?
Yeah.
And I had this horrendous fear of what I had gone through in my retirement, which we can talk about in a second.
Okay.
So I was still training, but I didn't have a coach. I didn't have Mark. And there was no one that was going to be able to do what Mark had done. So then when Mark finally did pass away in February of this year, I had this real, and he and I spoke about it actually. And he said, well, what do you want to get out of this? And I was like, I don't know. Like my purpose had become doing gymnastics not for me anymore because I didn't care about the title anymore. I wanted to make an impact on the gymnastics community. And I saw that I was most beneficial in doing that in the sport training because that way I was more relevant.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So that became my why. I was like, I'll go to World Championships. 2 reasons. 1, I wanted to redeem myself for my horrendous BIM performance at Olympics. And number 2, because then that way I could keep building up my personal brand and my social media. People could keep following what I'm doing.
The journey, yeah.
And I could then make a real positive impact on the gymnastics community that way.
Okay.
So they became my 2 reasons.
Yes.
When Mark passed away, the reality that I will need a coach like that came up, and I couldn't find anyone other than potentially overseas or in a different state. But I have the most beautiful relationship in the world with Julian. I have such a fantastic life now where gymnastics is no longer my priority. And so I was like, okay, if I want to make a positive impact on the gymnastics community and sport and whatever, find another way.
Can still do it.
Yeah.
And I really, what's the avenue now? And here we are talking about it, which is really cool.
Which is cool. But yeah, it was almost like, and maybe it's because I like to follow my intuition quite a bit. It was just one of those things where when a situation happens, I think it's what you make of it. And I chose to see that situation as a sign to like, yeah, you don't need to do gymnastics anymore. And you're still, you made that decision to retire for all the right reasons. You don't need to.
Yeah, you're okay. You're okay. Yeah, that's huge. That would have been just such a roller coaster.
Is that, did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
See, that's interesting because I feel like the people that are around me obviously know that because they were there the whole way.
Yeah.
And no, I don't think anyone's ever inquired into my retirement like that.
I hope it's okay.
No,
okay.
I think it's great because it's so interesting for me to hear that you didn't know that the understanding was that I had made this emotional decision and that I had unfinished business. Like, I do say I had unfinished business because, well, I did kind of.
Yeah, but maybe not in the way that it gets perceived. That can get, perceived, so, exactly.
So it's really interesting. So I think that's really great. Awesome.
Yay. It's really good. It's such a different light on it all now. And there was a few things that you said. There's so many things that I want to talk about, but I feel like we'll keep it to what's the time? Reasonable, yeah.
Well, we're good.
Oh my God. Have we done almost an hour? Okay.
No, that's only half an hour.
No, okay, cool.
Yeah, no, it is interesting.
Yeah, I think what an incredible story.
It's all said in hindsight, obviously. Like, I reflect back on these situations and I can articulate it differently to if you had asked me in the moment.
Yeah.
But in the moment, like, that's just how it was. It really wasn't that deep. It was, I look at it now and I'm like, yeah, there are deeper meanings and deeper, or not meanings, but like deeper scenarios that went on. But the reality simply was you make no money as a gymnast, which I'm trying to change. You make no money as a gymnast. I'm 24. I have an idea that I want to run my own business one day. But how on earth am I going to do that if I'm still doing gymnastics? And, that's just how things unfolded. I did not expect what followed after that, though. I did not expect retirement to be what it was.
Yeah, okay.